This video is sponsored by Saley. Hey guys, now some of you may know we have a new picture show in the works, but as usual, we're at the whims of Paramount Pictures, so it'll be a little while longer before you get to watch it. I'm sorry, but I don't make the rules.
I'm never killing Hitler for you guys again.
After all I did for you in World War II.
You're gonna have to stick with Reagan now.
So I figured in the meantime I'd throw up an edit of this stream I did. See, as someone who loves Capcom and Marvel, I decided to take a crack at this trend people have been doing where we try to make the most hype Marvel vs. Capcom roster for the eventual, totally real, and very plausible Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Or 5, or whatever it's going to be called. And honestly, I don't say this often, but I think I kind of cooked with some of these picks. But before we get into that, we have a quick word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Saley. Saley is a new eSIM service from the good folks over at Nord Security. You may ask me, what the heck is an eSIM? Well, do not worry, because I had that very same question. But it's simple, listen up. If you've ever been traveling and had spotty or non-existent Wi-Fi, then you could get some use out of an eSIM. An eSIM is a digital version of a SIM card that can provide you a beefier internet connection when you travel abroad, and it can save you money on roaming fees. And if you guys are like me, you'll be traveling a lot in the fall and winter, and whenever I'm abroad, I just have to kind of pretend that my phone doesn't exist, because my connection can be kind of bad. But with Saley, I'm able to get a more stable connection when I'm not at home. So if you want to try Saley for yourself, just head over to saley.com/cosmonaut. Then choose the 1GB Saley data plan, enter coupon code Cosmonaut, and then you get that 1GB for free. Yeah, free. So just in case you missed it, that's saley.com/cosmonaut. Enter code Cosmonaut and get your 1 gig of data for free. And of course, I'd like to thank Saley for sponsoring this video.
Here's what we're doing. For those of you who saw Max's video, he made his ideal roster for Marvel vs. Capcom 4, right? I think that looks like fun. And since I know a lot about Marvel, I know a lot about Capcom, I think that we can make a pretty fun list here, right? So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change these tiers a little bit. We're gonna make this real easy. Oh my god. Oh my god. And we'll do Capcom. And then we'll do DLC. We're gonna limit ourselves. We could easily just put everybody we like on here, but let's be realistic. It would be so easy for me to just put a bunch of X-Men and put a bunch of Street Fighter characters on here, but that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. If I'm not mistaken, Marvel 3 launched with around 40 characters. Like base Marvel 3, vanilla Marvel 3. I think it's 36. The final number's 36. 36. Oh, nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. How much did Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite launch with? 30. That's a little too low. Marvel vs. Capcom characters are easier to make than Street Fighter characters from a development standpoint, right? 40 seems fair. 20 Marvel, 20 Capcom, right? If it was less than that, it'd be weird. That's a lot of characters. And fighting games don't launch with that many characters nowadays, you know? To make it fun, let's just stick with 40, right? We'll stick with 40. Any more than 40 is crazy. Like, they would never... That's not happening, right? Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had 56? Yeah. But that was a different era, and also half those characters, more than half those characters, were ported over from other games. We're gonna stick with 40 total characters, and then we'll do DLC afterwards. Because some characters, like, just kind of scream DLC. They kind of scream, like, this character's what people want later. That means 20 Marvel, 20 Capcom. Let's start with the easy ones. Where is the easiest one? The ubiquitous, no surprises. Obviously. Obviously, he's getting in, right? Second, obviously. Second obvious one. Like, there's absolutely no fucking way this character would not get in. Let's get Spider-Man on there. Okay, these two, if you know anything, you know that Ryu and Spider-Man are getting in. For Street Fighter, or for Capcom, I feel like Chun-Li is pretty obvious too. Has she ever missed a Marvel vs. Capcom game? I don't think she has, so she gets in. Chun-Li Zhang obviously gets in. I think Wolverine belongs in there, right? Wolverine's got to be in it. Pretty obvious to me. These are like ubiquitous to me. While we're in Marvel, let's do another obvious one. These will get a little spicier later, but for now we got to do the obvious ones, right? Right? Thor, Cap, and Iron Man. Here's a hot take. I think Iron Man and Cap, yes. But Thor hasn't been in every Marvel game, and I don't think it's a given that he'd be in here, you know? Whereas Iron's here. There's so many fucking characters on this list. I don't know particularly. We're going to hold off on Thor. Thor hasn't been in every Marvel game. These guys have been in every Marvel game, so I feel like it's fair. Back to Capcom, more obvious picks. Obviously, she's been in every fucking game, so she's got to be there. Now, the Capcom side is a little less obvious than the Street Fighters, or than the Marvel side, you know? Doctor Doom, yeah. Especially in this new era, Doctor Doom would get in. There's no question about that. For me, I feel like Marvel's going to be way easier than Capcom to fill out. Thanos and DLC, I could see that. Let's look at Capcom for a minute. Let's fill in Capcom a bit. We definitely need Resident Evil, but I'm going to wait a second. I'm looking for obvious picks. What characters are, like, always in? Mega Man. Obviously Mega Man. Where's Mega Man? Zero, for sure. Actually, let's throw Zero in now. Zero's ubiquitous in Marvel vs. Capcom at this point. Mega Man, not so much. So which Mega Man do we pick? Because we got a few. We got Mega Man, we got Volnut, we got EXE, and then I think X is probably just called X, right? If I had it my way, Mega Man Volnut would be in. Alright? That's my favorite Mega Man. But I don't get to... I don't... You know. It goes down to Mega Man versus X. Personally, I think X is too similar. But I feel like he'd look really cool next to Zero. I'm gonna make a bold choice. I'd prefer X, personally. That's just me. I think that I would not turn my nose up to regular Mega Man. You know, I wouldn't be like, ew, I don't want him. No, yeah, I'd be fine with that. But I feel like for a cool factor, I think him and Zero would just be really cool on a team. I think he would make a really, really good deal. Oh, you know who's obvious? You know who's really obvious? Can't believe it took me this long to remember. Dante. Dante is obvious, you know? He is a fighting game character. I think that right here, this is a good core. This is a good, like, these are the characters that I would think have to be in it, or it would be weird. Virgil, I feel like would make for a great DLC character, but we're gonna save Virgil for now. Right now we got 6 characters. These are the guys who I think would have to make it for it not to be weird. I'm gonna add one more spicy pick onto Marvel for that, and you guys know me. You guys know who I'm gonna put in right here. All right, Cyclops gotta go in. Cyclops skipped 2 games. Everybody loves Cyclops right now, and every fucking game he shows up in, they make him do the, you know, they make him dap up the characters. You saw the Fortnite trailer with Cyclops? He walks up and he daps up Jonesy. He's got to be in there. You knew I was gonna put him in. I needed to build up to it. But again, this is a character that he hasn't been in Marvel in a while, and I just want him. Okay? But it would be a very fair and reasonable option to put him in. We're past the ubiquitous. I think these are the ubiquitous, must be in it, can't be DLC, have to be in it characters, right? Past that, there's one for Capcom that I personally have too, who is on the same level of Cyclops for me, for a character that, like, I'd be surprised if they didn't make it in, and I would really want them to get in. And that's our boy Leon. Right here. These two, I need... We get a Marvel vs. Capcom 4. I need these two. These are my boys right here. These are my white boys of the month. There's always been a Resident Evil character. In Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it was obviously Jill. In the 3, it was Chris. In 4, it was... Chris? Was he in that? Was Chris in 4? Or Infinite? I don't remember. Either way, I think it's Leon's turn. It's Leon's turn to get in. He could be so unique to the other two, to Leon and to Jill and Chris. I don't want Chris again, and like Jill. I don't want Jill again. I want Leon's turn. Okay, it's his fucking turn. Let's look at other characters. That would be really. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 14 characters so far, out of 40. So let's look at. Let me think outside the box now. This is not just going to be who I want. I'm trying to make a reasonable prediction as well, okay? And Marvel likes to put in characters that are hot. that they like to push a lot. There's one character in particular that I think is a very easy pick. Where is he? There they are. Rocket and Groot. People love Rocket and Groot. I feel like that's kind of reasonable, you know? Someone else just said another one. I think another reasonable one is Mr. Wilson. My shit's like fucked up. Deadpool's always hot. I feel like Deadpool could get in. Guardians time is over. That's not how Marvel looks at it. That's not how Marvel sees it. If you had a Marvel vs. Capcom game and there's no Guardians rep, that'd be very weird. That'd be very odd. That'd be strange. They know that Guardians is still one of their tentpoles at this point. You know? Deadpool seems like DLC. Yeah, I suppose. Everybody's saying Storm, but I don't know. I don't know about that. What I do know about is Magnus. Eric. He's got to go in. Obviously. Let's look at Capcom for a second. I got a few spicy picks for Capcom. So, Street Fighter 6 needs a character. At least one character from Street Fighter 6 has to get in. The easy and reasonable and most likely choice is Luke. I don't want Luke, though. Okay? This is where I'm going to move away from a prediction. Because if I was predicting it, I'd put Luke in easy. But I don't want Luke. Oh, there's only a few characters to pick from. I wouldn't pick JP. Kimberly's a maybe. Marissa's a maybe. Manon's a no. They wouldn't put Manon in. Jamie? No. If it's Jamie, if I pick Jamie, it would just be Luke. You know what I mean? Aki is a little too weird. I feel like they wouldn't put Aki. I'm between Rashid. Well, Rashid's like not a 6 character, you know? I feel like they want to put someone from 6 in. You know what? What am I talking about? First of all, let's just put her in here. Like, Jury just can go in any game. You know? Well, I just saw her there. I'm like, you know what? Let's put Jury in there. Luke isn't technically a 6 character either. Yeah, but he's the 6 guy, you know? Fuck it. I'm putting Marissa in. I would prefer Marissa over anybody else from 6, personally. We don't have like a big guy character. We don't have like a Juggernaut. I would prefer Marissa. This is what I would like, you know. If it's Luke, whatever. I wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't play him, but whatever, you know. But if there's any justice in the world, it would be her. Here's one more that I like that is just for me. I like Firebrand. I mean, Firebrand's on my Marvel 3 team. I just like Firebrand. All right, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I feel like Firebrand is a good character to throw in there. You know, you gotta have your Ghosts and Goblins shit, okay? Leave me alone. This is honestly harder than I thought it would be. Yeah. I agree. I think Monster Hunter should get in. She's cool. She's one of the cooler characters from that game, from Infinite. Yeah, you guys said that Capcom's looking more diverse than Marvel. I mean, well, we got dudes from fucking survival horror, fighting games, arcade, side scrollers, fucking whatever Monster Hunter is. Marvel, you got superheroes and supervillains. What am I supposed to do? You know, leave me alone. I think another pretty obvious pick that I wouldn't really particularly be happy about, but I feel like she has to get in, is Carol. They always push Carol in this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Carol in. It's not, this isn't me, this is a prediction. This isn't me happy about it, it's just a prediction. Let's work on diversifying the Marvel cast. I feel like Black Widow is a big maybe. She's a big maybe. A lot of people are bringing up Fantastic Four. If there was any justice in the world, Reed would get in. I don't think the Thing gets in a game that has... I don't think all 4 of them are getting in, honestly. I don't think all 4 of them are getting in. That would just be too amazing and it wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? Let's look at this list. We got 2 baddies. We got 2 bad guys. Should I do someone I would like to have? Should I do someone that I want? If there's any justice in the world. If there's any justice at all, Ileana gets in. This is for me. This is for me. I love Ileana. One of my favorite mutants. Emma Frost? No, I don't need. I love Emma Frost. I don't need her in a fighting game personally. Juggernaut's a big maybe. He's a big maybe. He's a big maybe. Let's think. Let's think realistically again. Who would they want to push in a Marvel game? I'm thinking about like Marvel Rivals too. You know, I'm thinking about who Marvel thinks is hot and who they'd be like, yo, you got to put this character in. Call me crazy. I think Kamala could get in. I think Kamala could make it in the core roster. I think she'd be fun too. If Kamala makes it in, Reed doesn't get in. Reed does not make it. I don't think any Fantastic Four make it in core roster personally. Venom or Carnage? Venom just screams DLC to me. He just screams DLC. Oh, someone just said one that was already on my mind. Let me throw him in there. Shang-Chi. I think Shang-Chi's a great pick. I would say Iron Fist, but I feel like they'd replace him with Shang-Chi at this point, you know? I feel like that's pretty fair. Thing is, like, a lot of people are bringing up really good picks, and I agree with all of them. I agree with every single thing you guys are saying. But we only have limited slots, you know? Scarlet Witch instead of Magic. Yeah, I could see that for sure. I actually could see that. The Magic's for me. Magic is taking a slot from someone who would more likely to get in just because I want her in. Beta Ray Bill, I feel like would be a Thor skin. He'd be a Thor alternate skin. That's easy. This is my ideal roster. What I'm predicting, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. It's my ideal roster while being realistic. If it was my ideal roster, I'd have fucking Aki in there. I'd throw in, I'd throw BB Hood in there. Beta Ray Bill instead of Thor. Magic. All 4 Fantastic Four members. You know, but I'm trying to be realistic. Okay. All right. We need some bad guys, and we need more Resident Evil. I think Lady D is a fair pick. I think she'd be kind of cool as another Juggernaut-style character. I think she'd be kind of sick. I think that's a little spicy pick for me. I think Lady D be really cool. I also have one more. I feel like we need another Darkstalkers character. This is another personal one. I like Jeddah. I think Jeddah's really fucking cool. I think that the fact that he was in Marvel Infinite this ain't fair. I would put him in over most of the other characters. I feel like he'd be sick. I feel like he'd be badass. Mike Hager, I could get down with that. Is he on here? Wait, is it just Hager? Yeah, he's just Hager. I feel like Mike Hager could get in. I feel like that's fair. I think that's reasonable. Frank West or Phoenix Wright? I don't know about Phoenix Wright. Personally, I don't need Phoenix Wright in here. Like I don't predict gimmick characters. You know, I don't do that. Heisenberg from RE8. I feel like it could be either Lady D or Heisenberg, but I feel like one of them would be likely to get in. I feel like that would be very likely. But I'm gonna do Lady D just for now. Amaterasu. A lot of people have said Amaterasu. I'm just gonna throw her in there. I think that's. She like, I feel like if they're like, okay, let's put in characters that people really want to see, I feel like Amaterasu would be a good pick. A lot of people say Wesker. Nah, no, not yet. No, we'll lean on Wesker if we need him, but I don't know about Wesker. I'm not sure about Wesker right now. I feel like Wesker's a very easy thing for them to skip. A lot of people have said this one, and I'm kind of getting sold on it. I'm getting kind of sold on it. I would be down for Regina. I would be down for it. I would be down for her. If they make her like Jill, where she's like dodging dinosaurs, that'd be kind of cool, you know? This is I feel like they could put a weirdo character in there for sure. Capcom's more likely to put a weirdo character in. Beautiful Joe. Again, if there was any justice in the world, yeah, I'd agree. But we're gonna save him for now. I would definitely take Mr. X over the other villains from Resident Evil. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't know. Here's something nutty. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put Bucky in. Bucky's a character a lot like Jeddah for me, where I think he's really cool in Marvel Infinite, and unfortunately he's in Marvel Infinite. But I feel like a gun guy, we need more gun guys in Marvel, like a Zoner type character. Punisher, yeah, it could be him or Punisher. I feel like Cable, I don't know. I don't think Cable makes it in. I don't think there's a lot of brand recognition for Cable right now. Strider and Gambit, you feel very strong about. I actually do feel very strong about Gambit, too. I actually feel very strong about Gambit. I do think Gambit is a pretty good shoe, and I think Gambit could make it in. Cable should be DLC. I could see that. I think Gambit, though, makes it into core roster. I'm trying to be really selective. You know, like, my gut tells me, like, yeah, I'll throw Daredevil in. I'll throw Black Panther in. But I'm trying to be really selective. I think Black Panther gets in. I think Black Panther gets it. Who am I fucking kidding? They're putting Black Panther in. All right. I also do think Thanos gets in. Let's throw Thanos in. I think Thanos is he's too, like, he can't be a DLC character. I think he has to just be in the core roster. It'd be very weird if he wasn't. I feel like he has to be here. Can you have Gambit without Rogue? You absolutely can. I don't know about Rogue getting in. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We got 2 more here. We got 4 more here. Let's be really selective here. Get Venom in the base game. I could definitely see Venom in the base game. I'm going to scan the rows, and I'm going to think real hard about each character. Because there's a lot of characters here that I feel like could make it in. Like Hawkeye could easily make it in, but I don't know. Human Torch is probably the one Fantastic Four member that I could see getting in. But if we have Miss Marvel, like, Reed doesn't get in. Iron Fist doesn't get in because we have Shang-Chi. Iceman, I'm not feeling. Ibuki, I'm not feeling. Krauser, if there's any justice, Krauser would be a cool pick, a cool character. Fuck it! Krauser's going in. Wesker's time is over. As far as, like, fast, freaky Resident Evil villain that works for the government, Krauser's cooler. Going for Krauser. Fuck Wesker. It's a new era of Resident Evil characters in Marvel, alright? I think this works. Luke Cage? Nah. Luke Cage isn't hot right now. Luke Cage isn't hot. Jessica Jones isn't hot right now. I don't want to play as Jessica Jones in a fucking Marvel vs. Capcom game. Come on. But I think Krauser could be really cool. This is the Resident Evil 4 stand in me, but I think Krauser would be kind of sick. So we got 2 more here, 3 more here for core roster. We gotta be really, really, really selective. Obviously, Ethan Winters. No, I'm just kidding. If I was really crazy, if I was really fucking crazy, I'd put Falcon in. Because I could see them doing that. I could see them pushing Falcon. But I would not want him in there. So we're going to pretend he does not exist. Let me look at the genetic makeup of our boys here. We have a few baddies. We've got a few villains, but I feel like we could go more villainous here. We could definitely go more villainous. You know what? I think Akuma gets in. I think Akuma makes sense to me. Yeah, it'd be weird if Akuma wasn't in the game. I'm not crazy about Akuma. Too much Street Fighter? It's fucking Marvel vs. Capcom. What are you talking about right now? What do you say? This is, you know what? You're right. I think this is too many Street Fighter characters. I think this is too. I think it's one too many. I'll sit on it for a minute. I feel like there's got to be a Street Fighter 6 character, and I don't want to put Luke. All right, that's just it. Jury just makes sense to me. Let's keep looking. We got 2 slots still, and I'm not like super sold on a lot of these characters. Phoenix Wright keeps staring at me. He keeps looking into my soul. Obviously, Retsu gets in. A lot of Retsu fans. I'm just playing. I'm just joking. Rose Winters. It's a good pick, right? What are these characters, bro? You didn't have to put everybody on here, you know? You know another one that I think is kind of ubiquitous that I think would be obvious is Doctor Strange. I think that's kind of an easy one. I feel like the last character for our Marvel side is going to be somebody really boring. But, you know, I'm trying to be realistic here. If there was any hope, it'd be Storm. I feel like Strider's got to get in. Strider's got to be in here. Strider kind of diversifies this cast a little bit. I feel like Strider really needs to get in. I don't want Frank West. I don't want him. Personally, I don't. Frank West doesn't do anything for me. I'm not putting him in. All right? I'm being selfish with this one. Apocalypse. Ooh, it'd be spicy. Oh, that would be cool. Oh, that'd be cool. I don't know, though. I feel like... Okay, hold on. Final slot for each thing, right? Let's use our noggins, right? They like to push a villain that's hot, and that hasn't really been done before. I could definitely see Apocalypse being that. Now, Kang, if this was like 2 years ago, I'd put Kang, alright? But I think Apocalypse would be really cool. This is a personal pick, alright? We do have Thanos. You're so right, we do have Thanos. We do have Thanos. But he does look weird next to him, you know? It does look... Cut Thanos? That's just being irresponsible. That's being irresponsible. Thanos is getting... It doesn't matter. Thanos is getting in. Thanos is getting in. Let's be spicy. A lot of people have said this, and I'm just going to go with it, too. Because I would like it, and I think it'd be really cool. I think Loki gets in. Now, but here's the weird thing. Loki without Thor feels weird. It feels a bit odd, you know? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't know if Deadpool gets in. I'm putting Deadpool back for now. Putting Deadpool back on the shelf. As I look at him, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Because I have one character. I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to be super selfish right now. You guys have to just let me be selfish for a second. But I think Otto would be so fucking sick in a fighting game. I think he'd be so fucking sick in a fighting game. And I feel like he would be good for core cast. I love Dr. Octopus. I think he'd be badass. So he's our last character. These are our spicy picks. I think they'd be very fun. I also say fuck Thor. I don't think we need Thor, but it is weird that he's not here. It's odd not seeing him. If I could pick, I would swap Captain Marvel for Thor, but I feel like we have to have like a flying Nova-style character. I'm going to ignore Thor and pretend he doesn't exist for this game. Okay? Just personally. I've never been a big Thor fan in Marvel vs. Capcom, alright? Some of this is a little selfish, but this is our Marvel side. Now for Capcom, we need one more guy. Or girl. Do I be selfish again? Do I be selfish again? Yeah, no, I think it's Sigma. I think Sigma is another one of those cases of he's pretty cool in Marvel Infinite. Unfortunately, he's in Marvel Infinite, you know? I feel like Sigma's a good pick. Where is he? There he is. I feel like he'd be a really cool pick for a Mega Man villain. I would like Dr. Wily, but let's be realistic. Sigma's more reasonable. I think this is our core roster. Alright? If the game launched like this, would you guys be mad? I think no. You know? I think not. I think that this is a very fair roster. No Bison? I'm not feeling Bison. I'm not feeling Bison. I think that this is a pretty good list. Like if the game launched just like this, you guys all have somebody you can play. Virgil, Venom? No, I'm sorry. Because we're going on to DLC. Number 1 DLC character. This is how you sell DLC, right? DLC pack 1. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. Use your brains. Listen to me. DLC pack 1. This is easy stuff. Where is he? DLC pack 1. This sells this million copies sold. Million copies sold of DLC pack 1. Miles and Virgil. Think about it. You have your iconic Akuma style broken boss character that everybody expects to be in. Then you have a new guy who everybody would be crazy about. This would sell 1 million copies, alright? Think about it. Launch week. They announce this shit. DLC, they show Virgil. Everybody's like, oh yeah, Virgil's back. Then they show Miles, and you're like, oh, fuck. Okay. That's pretty cool. Miles would be so sick. Like, a few years ago, I never would have put Miles in this game because he was too similar to Spider-Man. But now, you give him, like, his fucking electric sword, his crazy shit, he'd be so fucking sick. He'd be so sick. I just think this would be a really cool DLC. I think it'd be sick. Let's keep riding the DLC train. Now, I don't know how many to put in DLC. I think, realistically, 6 DLC characters. Now, realistically, it'd be 4. Okay, let's think about it. 4. It wouldn't be 5 because that's an odd number. That'd be very weird. You had to do Marvel Capcom, you know? 4 or 6. Realistically, what would happen is they'd release Virgil first. A few months later, then they'd release Miles. You know? Let's be optimistic and pick 6. Let's think big and bold. Let's think bold and loud. Let's think strategically. I feel like for Capcom, we'd have to throw some new people in there, you know? Who's new and cool for Capcom? That's a toughie. And for that, I'm picking fucking Dr. Wily. All right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. No, you're right. It'd be Asura. It'd be Asura. That'd be a sick pick. It'd be too cool. It'd be too cool. you gotta put Asura in. For Marvel, to put someone in who everybody would want. Fuck that. I'm doing what I want. I'm doing what I want, baby. I'm doing what I want. Blade's going in. Blade would be so fucking cool. Blade would be so sick. The first DLC pack is realistic. This is what would sell 1 million copies. This is what I want. Alright, this is what I want. Blade deserves to get in. Blade should be core roster instead of Winter Soldier. If I had it my way, yes, I agree. But I feel like white guy with guns makes it in. Either it's him or Punisher. I think that this is core roster needs a guy with guns on Marvel's side. And then the final 2 DLC characters. This is going to be hard because I got a lot of characters I would pick. I really got to think this one through. The more that I see Deadpool off of our list, the more I'm kind of fine having him not in the game, personally. Realistically, I feel like Deadpool would make it because we've got a character. He's a character that we've already had. I feel like he'd get in. I feel like Marvel would force it. Fuck that. I'm doing what I want, baby. It's my list. Where is he? Where's that boy? If there was any justice in the world, if there is any justice, Kurt gets in. Okay? This is for me. I want him. Yeah, you guys all went crazy for it. That'd be sick, right? He's never even been in one of these games. I feel like it just makes sense. He has his swords, like, oh, he teleports. Oh, it'd be so cool. He fits. He makes sense. All right, let's top it off with a Capcom character. This I'm a little less enthusiastic about. I'm putting Dr. Wily. I just want Dr. Wily. All right, listen, just leave me alone. I want Dr. Wily. I think it'd be cool. Okay? I just want Dr. Wily. I got one that you guys all want. I got one that I want. I think Dr. Wily's fun. I think he diversifies this DLC a lot. We got cool guy, cool guy, cool guy, cool guy, cool guy, Dr. Wily. I got more than one that I want. I want all of these. This is why we made the list. You know? This like, okay, if I could cut a character, if I could look at this and be like, I don't care if you're in it or not. Thanos would be cut. Doctor Strange would be cut. Carol would be cut. Probably Rocket and Groot would be cut. And then for over here, I'd cut Chun-Li. I'd cut Morrigan. I'd cut Akuma. I'd cut a lot of these, but like I feel like we're trying to be realistic, you know? Cut Morrigan and add Lilith. Lilith's some Morrigan skin. Like, what are you talking about? Morrigan gets in. You know, don't be absurd. Cut Captain Marvel and put Rogue. I would do that, but I feel like Marvel would want them to put in Captain Marvel over Rogue. Rogue would be very likely for DLC. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Fringe DLC. This is year 2, okay? This is year 2. This is if I had it my way. We're gonna go for characters that, if there was any justice, they would make it in. This is not we're not thinking reasonably. We're not thinking fairly. This is reasonable and fair, right? No. I'm not sold on Venom. I'm just not sold on Venom. You know who I'm sold on? I'm sold on Rogue. Let's get back to Venom in a second. I feel like Rogue is wanted. She'd be sick. I feel like she'd be fun. If there's any justice in the world, Beta Ray Bill gets in. Over Thor. I'm not even joking. I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling even a little bit right now. I'm not trolling. I know I said he would be a Thor alternate. I don't give a fuck about Thor. Now that Thor's not on the list, I'm happy about it. I want Beta Ray Bill in instead of Thor. Yeah, I said it. I said he'd be cooler. Thor has never been cool in Marvel vs. Capcom. All right? This is my freak. This is the Fringe DLC. This is a freak shit. All right? This is the crazy stuff. Really got to put it in the tank. I really got to think for a second. There's a lot of good characters in here. Heisenberg. I want Heisenberg. Heisenberg would be fun. I'm putting Heisenberg in. Heisenberg would have so many crazy moves. Heisenberg would be nutty. I'm putting him in. I'm not even thinking twice about it. Let's go back to Capcom. We're going to do 6 of these Fringe DLC characters, right? I hate to say it. I think V would be pretty fun. I think a puppet-style character would be pretty cool. I think he'd be kind of sick. But we got to get weird with it. And I'm not sold on him. They even got Tofu in here. That is crazy. That's nuts, dude. Sentinel, I would like to keep out of the game as much as possible. Let's do it. I think Rashid goes in. I don't even love Rashid. I think Rashid fits the game really well. I think he'd be pretty cool. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it. And obviously Agatha Harkness. No, I'm just kidding. There's just so many funny characters in here. You know, we got Big Wheel, obviously. It would be sick. We got 1 character for each left on our Fringe list. This is where I'm going to get a little weird. This is where I'm going to get a little odd. Some people have already predicted this. I don't love Venom, but I think Agent Venom would be really cool in this game. Agent Venom goes in. And we got to pick a Capcom character to end it off. Capcom's harder than I thought. Capcom's giving me trouble. Capcom will look you dead in the eye and say, yeah, Retsu's in. And you just have to deal with it, you know? We're going to go selfish mode. We're going to go selfish mode for our final character. My gut tells me Nero's too similar to Dante. But he's not. Nero with just frames? Oh, yeah, he has, like, perfect inputs? That'd be sick. That'd be funny if they make him harder than Dante. I think this is a good list, guys. I'm happy with this. I think our DLC picks... Listen, if this game came out, y'all would be okay with it. Y'all be chill with this. You'd be like, all right, okay. Okay. I'll play that. You know, just base roster alone. Look at this base roster. This is crazy. This is perfect. This might be perfect, I think. Even with the characters that I'm not crazy about, I think it's pretty damn good. We did have to make some sacrifices along the way. Like Venom and Deadpool getting cut. Thor not being in the game. It's all weird. But it was for the greater good. I dropped Marissa. Personally, I would too. But I feel like realistically there has to be a Street Fighter 6 character in. They're going to put Street Fighter characters in it. There's a lot of X-Men. It started with a, you know, certain game, Street Fighter versus X-Men. So there's got to be Street Fighter and X-Men in it. I think, realistically, if the game came out, we would not have this many Street Fighter characters. I feel like Jury or Marissa, not both. I could see this happening. I could see Jury being down here. I personally would prefer Punisher over Winter Soldier, personally. I think Winter Soldier is more likely. I think that if this game is launching with 40 characters, we're getting some repeats. We're getting some repeats from Marvel Infinite. And Winter Soldier is a cool character from Marvel Infinite who's unfortunately in Marvel Infinite, you know. In general, yeah, it would be down to like 34 characters at maximum if this game actually came out. I think that I'm proud of this DLC. This first pack of DLC right here, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of cooked with that one. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of good. I'd cut Hager. I don't give a fuck about Hager personally, but I feel like him or Zangief need to go in. Lady D, I think, is sick. Lady D, I'm happy about. Loki's kind of off. I think Loki would be a fun character in this game. I could see this, though. You know, I could definitely see this. I could for sure see Loki being down here. But for DLC, that would make me hyped. That would get me excited. Miles Blade Nightcrawler. Like, come on. Come on. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? That'd be fucking crazy. It'd be so crazy it's not happening. For characters I personally would be most hyped about, like if this roster got announced and I'd be like, I gotta main these characters, I would definitely pick Cyclops, Doc Ock, and Leon. Those are my personal, like, I would go fucking crazy if those 3 got in. I would main Cyclops and Leon. I think Cyclops and Leon have a very fair chance of getting in. If Chris gets in instead of Leon, fine. But I don't think he would. I don't think he would. I think Leon has a chance. It's Leon's fucking turn. The hype of Cyclops and Leon makes this work for you. That's how I'm feeling. Really, the character in this list that excites me the most is Leon. Cyclops is almost like a given at this point. If Cyclops doesn't get in, it would be the strangest fucking game of all time. I don't even think I'd be boycotting. I'd be pissed. Stages you would like? All right, real quick. Danger Room for training mode, obviously. Wakanda. Days of Future Past. Some sort of Resident Evil lab. Daily Bugle. Krakoa. Spicy pick. I'm putting Krakoa in. Spicy pick. Yeah, spicy pick. Devil May Cry like bar. The bar itself. That'd be sick. I love a bar stage. Okay. RPD. Yeah, the RPD would be cool too. Baxter Building. Okay, Baxter Building. We're just saying shit. I'm like cool with all of it. You know, I'm happy with all of it. Yeah, Krakoa with like the X-Men who couldn't make it in. That'd be cool. TVA. Ooh, wait, that's a pretty good pick. That's actually a pretty good pick. That's a pretty good pick. I think the TVA would be a good stage. Yeah, that'd be. I hate that you're right. But that'd be pretty sick. Resident Evil Zombies in a Marvel Zombies world. Again, there's so much you could do. There's so many cool crossover stages you could do. Nowhere would be a very cool stage too. You're right. It is missing Fantastic Four characters. That was a hard call. That hurt. I feel like if anybody gets in, Johnny would get in. Johnny is like an honorable mention. I didn't want to just put a bunch of X-Men. I didn't want to put a bunch of Fantastic Four. It's so hard to pick one Fantastic Four member over everybody else. Again, in an ideal world, we have all four of them. Just straight up DLC pack with all four. Like, if there's any justice in the world, that'd be good. Johnny would be the Nova of the game instead of Carol. All right, you know what? You won me over. You know what? We're going to do one last, final, selfish pick. If there was any justice in the world, he would be the new Nova-style character. That would be fucking sick. You're absolutely right. Fuck Carol, she's out. That gets me way more excited. That gets me way more hyped. It's crazy. It's a little nutty. I don't see it happening. But if there's any hope in the world, that's what it would be. All right? That's the last change we're making. We're calling it. Clip it. Post it. This is the list, all right? No Phoenix Wright, no Venom, no. Capcom, listen, the chat loves it. I feel like overall this is a pretty good list. I feel like this is most people would not be mad about this.